Okay, who still has the white raffle ticket for the art contest facility that you would like me to come collect with your will down here? Please raise your hand. Alright, guys. Anyone else? Going once? Going twice? And we're up.
Hello. It's working though, right? Okay. But it's shown public, like on our YouTube channel. Oh, hey. Hi, guys. We're working on it. Sound is beyond terrible. Yeah, because everyone's talking. Hello, hello. Getting ready to get started. Just give us a few minutes.
I really appreciate
He has too many bags.
I think what you should
Hey everybody, it's Bolon and the remnants of Bolon's voice. What's happening? We're excited y'all are here. We're going to have this conversation here shortly. Right now we're getting our audio figured out, making sure everything's ready. Yes, there's a lot of background noise. There will not be when we are presenting because everybody will be too interested in what we have to say. So bear with us while we test. This stream might end and we might start a new one. We'll let you know. Just bear with us. We're getting set up.
Yeah.
I think y'all are going to really like what we have coming tonight, though. We're really excited for this. I'm really excited for this, actually. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a really cool conversation. Yeah, my voice does sound terrible. I agree. I lost it on the second day I was here. It was. I'm pretty sure I've talked to every person in Denver about DFK, and I have no voice left. But it's all good because that's what it's about. That's what we're here for. That's what we do. My voice will come back. It don't matter. I haven't tried the tacos yet, but I've heard Torchy's is really good. Definitely gonna have to check out Torchy's before I leave. I haven't tried it yet. I mean, I sound like death, but I feel fine. It doesn't hurt. It just sounds like I'm the Grim Reaper. So, the good news is I'm out here killing other projects. Don't worry about it. I tried, honey. It ain't working. I made myself drink the grossest warm tea and honey, and it was awful, and I hated every moment of it. If I'm drinking tea, it better have ice and sugar. Like, I don't know. Yes, there will be alpha drops. That's the whole point of this call. We're going to live stream the conversation that we told y'all about. Rather than posting it afterwards, it will also be posted afterwards. We're getting everything set up right now. I know there's a lot of background noise. There won't be once we get started, but right now we're letting everybody just set up while we test everything. Yes, my voice sounds not good. I don't know when egg. I miss you too. Oh yes. LFG. I agree, it is sexy. It's very gravelly and manly. Except for when it just breaks and cuts out altogether. That part's that's not ideal. Zipper, what's up, bro? How you doing? Give me 2 minutes. I gotta post this announcement to tell everybody else to join this stream. Hold up.
Oh, can they hear us?
Oh yeah, it won't be like this where the whole room is doing its thing right now while we get set up. So
Yeah.
it'll be quiet once we start. But right
Be
now,
patient,
they're just
people.
doing their thing,
Risen is doing the best he can.
which is not saying very much. Remember, keep your expectations low and you'll never be disappointed. Wait, is that a bad thing to tell people?
You sound like my mother.
Mama Penguin. It's already up.
Can Risen make it on the rain 69?
No, he won the bet, so he burned instead. You know.
Chaos.
Silent night. Well played, Ghost Panda. Well played.
Raise your hand if you all want to see Bolon. Little sneak peek.
Oh God.
He sounds like this, but he's a handsome man.
You can also see me on Tasha's last stream. But, you know, who was it? It was Colton Wall that said the devil wears a suit and tie. So, you know.
Trying to get people in Discord.
Yep, just added everybody. Y'all are about to have a lot more company in chat.
I want you center that, which means to center right, which means I have to turn off this so they will be able to see it.
You want me here or not? Okay. Y'all are going to get to see my smiling face. We're turning the video on. Oh, hang on. Wait, time out.
It is only Risen now. Accept me for who I am.
Get out of here.
Is this our engagement photos?
Yeah. What's up, y'all?
How is that not moving? Is it like tracking?
I just want y'all to know I forgot my original one and I ordered a new one to Denver for this.
This is really good.
Why are
lighting.
you on 2 chairs?
Because I really want to
Come right now.
Pick a chair. Jeez.
You see how he treats me?
Oh, thank you.
We're turning the table now too.
I feel like we're really just failing.
We're making it worse.
Tilt the screen. Bring the screen. Now that way. No, the other way. Don't look at me on the inverted camera. Look at me in real life.
I just want the president. You're making the first, yes, that.
Oh my gosh. Good is good enough. That's so terrible.
Look, that chair is still entirely cut out.
Everyone else's hands are off. We're gonna do some shit.
Welcome to the process.
Look.
Alright. It stays right there.
It's good enough. Whoever sits in this table is the least important. Want to say hi to our whole community? Hold on. We're gonna play the 2 videos on it's just his computer slide. Who is sitting up?
There is.
They already coordinated.
I think.
So very sure. Having his own alpha.
Oh, is it?
But I don't know if we want everybody to get one or
Oh, so you just want that. So why don't we do well, actually, let's all go to Fox. Let's just get Fox. It should be payable regardless. Based on yeah.
Compare it to the
All right, y'all, can y'all hear me? Taking that as a yes. Sounds like yes. Y'all gonna have to wait to find out that we can't do a 360 video. First off, we don't have the camera, but second, not everybody agrees to be docs. Don't move it. Why? You just moved the entire angle again.
ruin everything.
Stop touching things. Stop touching. Don't touch. Alright, hey, can y'all hear me? Y'all listen up. Are you listening? I feel like you're not listening. It's gonna take me a minute to actually, you know what? Never mind. Hang on, I'll be right back.
Probably. Sasha, are you in the chat? I want to say hi specifically. So did Purple. Now you get us from both angles.
I just wanted to say, we put Sachet's image up, his 3D sculpture. We told everyone not to vote for it because he's not eligible for the contest. We just wanted to show it. However, he got 5 votes. So just, there you go, Sachet. You got 5 votes when we told people not to vote for it. So good job.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. No.
Somebody, can you set your plate? Okay.
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you were
I'm just trying to.
For sure.
Joining us. Let's chat safe. Nice, Pastor. You leg?
All right. Y'all want to find out the who
You make me run the whole competition.
Who do you think it is? Do you want to announce it? You want to announce it? You can announce it. Do y'all want to hear the winners of our sculpture contest? It doesn't seem like y'all want to hear the winners.
I think we see later what.
Oh, maybe. There might be a delay.
We're delayed.
There it is. So we had 50 entries that were eligible for the sculpture contest. We're going to announce the winners right now, and then after we announce just the winners, I'm going to tell y'all what the prize structure is. So Purple Onion's going to announce the winners of our sculpture contest.
If I can read your handwriting.
Can you grab
Well,
me?
you
And
said you
also
wanted
learn
to.
and
Can you
also
grab me
learn
some
how
of
to
these
pronounce
packs of
people's
stickers
names. So
so I
I'm
can
just
use it
gonna
back
butcher
here
this.
without messing
Okay,
this up?
first place
Just
in
like
the
some
sculpture
packs of
contest is
Thanks, man.
Crypto Atlas Muscle.
Crypto has muscle.
Crypto has muscle. Thank you. Atlas City is second place. Tom. Third place, Tom. Fourth place, Petal.
Yeah, I thought you could read it. Pedal.
15, Alex G. I said wrong.
Yeah,
I
fifth
read the
place
number. I'm sorry. Fifth place.
was Alex
Fifth
G.
place, Alex G.
So what we're going to do is for those 5 winners, it's 500 for first, 400 for second, 300 for third, 200 for fourth, and 100 for fifth. However, the other 45 people that entered the sculpture contest, you're all going to get 25 jewel for your entry. I will tag everybody in the side quest channel in a few days for claiming. You don't need to DM me right now. I'm not going to get back to you today anyway. I will tag everybody in a couple days. I am also going to post this in the announcements channel just so that it's written down. But that is what will happen. I don't know why it's moving. It's very strange. I'm shrinking. I'm going on a journey. Goodbye. But yeah, I'll post all that in the announcements here in just a few minutes. And then those are going to be the prize structures. And I believe we are going to get started here in just a minute. Probably once us people that don't know anything except for him get off the stage, he can stay. But the rest of us, we don't know anything.
Bye guys, have fun.
I'm gonna stay because I don't get a platform often enough. See, now I can't read chat. I'm here for you guys. Hello. This is what it would be like if I had my own live stream. Nobody wants that. Oh, gentleman is still messing with the camera. Hello? Is it me you're looking for? Oh, I need to test being back here. Hold on. It looks tilted. That looks strange.
I was like,
Hello, chat.
It's time.
Just sit here. I think it's okay. Is there any way to do it? It's okay, just your top.
Hey everyone, you guys ready to get started? All right. Looks like we're currently live streaming. There's a bunch of people on there watching. We have Hubert up here. He's here to ensure that I look small. But yeah, no, we're excited to get started tonight. It's been a great day. We've been here since 10 o'clock doing some hackathons and speaking about the grant program and what else did we do? There's like 20 things, but it's all blank now. But we're excited now here for kind of having us kind of wrap it up. And we have some really cool, exciting stuff to share about some of the things that are coming out soon. So I guess first, before we get started, we do have some really cool things in store for all of the attendees here in person. So sorry for the streaming attendees, but we have some tickets we're going to hand out to everyone, and we're going to have a raffle. So Bolin is sort of like wandering around with some tickets. Make sure you get one of those. And what we're going to do is, at the end of this, we're going to draw some of those out and have some pretty cool prizes for people, including a Gen 0 or 2, and then some other pretty cool packages of like in-game items and stuff too. So stay tuned for that. Hubert is here, like I mentioned. Do you have a microphone? Yes, so. Hubert is here to talk about something that he alluded to yesterday in the AMA. I think it was yesterday, right? It's been a whirlwind. And I'll just kind of turn the time over to him in a second once it's working. Great, take it away. Hubert Cumberdale, everyone.
All right. So behind me, you can see this promotional video we put together for the Perilous Journey and for Crystal Vale. Kind of the storyline behind Crystal Vale is, or in the world of DeFi Kingdom itself, the lore is that all of the lands are kind of separated away from each other, and now people are starting to, like, heroes are coming back to the land, and people are starting to explore. And there was, somebody came from Crystal Vale to Sarandale, which is the land that everyone has access to right now. That person told the people of Sarandale about Crystal Vale, but he couldn't explain how to get there. So what the Perilous Journey is kind of allowing heroes to be the Columbus of DeFi Kingdoms and going to find a safe route to Crystal Vale. So along with that, there's a lot of danger. The path is unknown. There are monsters at sea, and not all the heroes are going to make it. But these heroes are going to go and come back and tell the people of Sarandale how to get to Crystal Vale safely. So I guess the first step of this is that people are going to be able to submit their heroes to go on this journey. There will be based on the quality of the hero, like if it's a common hero or a mythic or its rank. Wow.
This is the special edition of our expansion.
Interlude, guys.
HD version. It is a very perilous journey. This was a targeted FUD campaign. Just want people to know that.
Alright. Well, we'll just have the rainbow in the background for now, and at some point that'll come out. So, anyway, just continue on. So, the quality of your hero is going to make a difference. It's level, it's rank. So, if it's an advanced class or like a Dread Knight, those will have a higher chance of survival than like just a basic hero. And we will, as far as like the awards that we give, there will be crystal awarded, airdropped afterwards to those that survived, or the owners of the heroes that survived. We will be doing a Gen Zero raffle for 25 Gen Zeros, and you'll get a number of tickets, kind of also tied to the quality of the heroes that you sent.
So I have something to say about this, by the way. Sorry, I'll just interrupt randomly. That's what I do. But for Serendale, we had 2,000 Gen Zeros that we sold. For Crystal Vale, we've had a lot of people ask us, how are you going to sell these Gen Zeros? They're worth a lot more now than they were then. And how are you going to make that fair? There's a lot more people that want to get them than there were back then also. So our strategy is to try to incentivize in-game things to sort of like use them as awards for all kinds of things that we want to incentivize. So you'll see a lot more of those being used as awards versus just being straight up sold to actually award the players of our existing current game here over in Serendale.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so yeah, we'll be doing 25 Gen Zeros. The number of tickets you get will be based on the quality of your hero. We will also be giving a full XP bar for those heroes that go and come back. So you probably want to try to level up your guy, and then you can get a whole full bar of experience. Let's see, we will also be doing just a small group of the lands that we are going to have tournaments for. Those will be exclusive to survivors of the journey. So it won't be all of the lands, it'll just be a small number of them. We don't know, haven't decided on the exact number yet, but it'll be a small number. And let's see. I think, and also we're going to be giving an achievement that's going to go to the hero, and we'll give it access to quests in the future that'll be unique to those heroes that went.
Can you explain the achievements a little bit? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we have an achievement system. We haven't used it yet, but we have it in place. So we're going to be able to assign achievements to Wallace for certain tasks, assign achievements to heroes for completing certain things. And we can also use those markers as just an indicator, kind of like a memory card for heroes and quest progress and various things. So this is going to be one of our first forays into using that system. So heroes will be permanently marked as being survivors of the perilous journey. So those that don't survive, those will be burned, and we'll still be giving some prizes for those that don't survive, kind of as a consolation. You'll receive a kind of small amount of jewel. We're doing another 25 Gen Zeros that will kind of the same system. The quality of the hero is going to give you a certain number of tickets, and for all the heroes that died, those people will get those tickets.
So when you say die, is this like completely dead forever?
It's dead forever. It goes to the burn address. So it is a perilous journey. We're also going to be giving runes out, depending on if you have like a higher level hero, and it'll also be our first introduction of the Moksha rune, which is the next one you need to go above level 10. You need to have at least a level 4 hero to get that. And have them die, so that kind of sucks. But
yeah, so those runes, currently there's no other way to get above level 10 inside those runes.
That's right. And then lastly, we'll be giving a number of enhancement stones and attunement crystals. Again, for those that die, kind of desynthesizing the hero into its constituent parts. Those stones will be based on the top two highest stats of the heroes. And the enhancement stones will enhance that specific stat or two stat. There'll be like two different types of enhancement stones. The same thing for the attunement crystals too. Those will be for leveling up and improving those specific stats. So We'll have the actual numbers that we'll release on Discord. I don't want to get you guys all bogged down saying all these percentages and numbers and stuff, but that's generally what we're going to be doing here. It's going to be launching fairly soon.
Soon. So can you talk a little bit about the lore, how it played into some of these things we're doing, like the heroes dying and then having their essence switched down, maybe, and then just some of the things there with like, if they die, how can you get jewels? Like, is that a part of the lore? Like some kind of insurance policy or what?
That is more of just the Kingdom of Serendel is petitioning for this to be done, so it's kind of like a severance package, I guess, not hard severance, but it's just kind of a for their friends and surviving family members sort of thing.
So it's like a life insurance?
Life insurance, I suppose, yes. Yeah, sometimes with the lore, it's a little bit hard to make it all fit, but I think in general with this, it does fit pretty well, and we've been wanting to have a burn mechanic for a while. This is just going to be a one-time event. After this is done, bridging a hero over to Crystal Vale is not going to risk your hero, so you can freely go back and forth. But just for this one event, it's going to be there and back again.
So it's like the trailblazers that are trying to figure out the way there, and then everyone else can go safely after that.
Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I got a lot of heroes that are going to be sent over to Crystal Vale, hopefully. So.
Me too.
Let's see. Did you want to ask any questions? Probably not, right? Okay. No questions allowed, but I've asked all the questions that everyone had, I'm sure. Ogre has one. Okay, Ogre, since we love you, you can say something.
Burn percentage. We got any
burn percentage.
So a level 1 common basic hero has a 35% chance to survive. To survive.
Whoa.
But then the chances increase. Again, if it's a mythic, you'll get more chances, and also if it's a higher rank hero.
What's the highest percentage chance for someone to survive?
A mythic Dread Knight, if it was level 10, and there was one thing I didn't mention about Gen Zeros. So Gen Zeros, because of their importance to our ecosystem, are not allowed to die, but we will allow them to be sent, so you can still get the achievement, but you won't get the other rewards. But along with that, we're going to allow them to, you can send a Gen Zero with up to 5 other heroes and give them a little extra boost. So if you have a level 10 Dread Knight with a Gen Zero supporting him, and he's mythic, you have a 95% chance of them surviving.
So it's dangerous to go alone. You need to go with the Gen Zero.
That's right.
Well, that's cool. So it'll scale up as the heroes are stronger and more powerful and higher level. They'll have a higher chance of surviving.
That's right.
Cool. Well, that's awesome. I'm excited about this, and I just want to say thank you to Hubert for all this great info. And we're going to have a lot more details about the actual percentages and all that stuff in our channels soon. So stay tuned for that. And I think we're also going to announce the timeline for that sometime next week. And it's going to be pretty soon also, because this is leading up to Crystal Vale, and Crystal Vale itself is pretty soon. So you're going to see a lot of this again soon. Anyways, I just want to say thank you to Hubert Cummerdale for his awesome work on this and everything else. So thank you. Loader me! Gotta rep it. So let's see. Next up, we've got Dreamer to share some pretty exciting news about the. I'll actually let you say it because it's better.
Okay. I'm gonna have some space between this, if that's okay. I feel like I should have
6 feet.
like a ski mask to fit in with the dress code of everybody else up here. So another really important topic is the very high barrier to entry. As we've seen the price of jewel increase, I think we are trying to build a game. It started as a gamified decks, very game-like in the sense of having NFTs that can summon and create new rare NFTs with future utility. People have been playing to earn, and combat's on the horizon along with other heady game features. So when I tell people what I do, and I'm all really excited, they're like, "Oh, cool, it's a game. You go get my kids involved." I'm like, how much money do your kids have? Is it, it's pretty expensive to buy an NFT, right? So we're thinking about impacting everybody in the whole world, and right now, that's not possible. We're looking to change that. We're looking to learn from other games that have tried something similar and maybe haven't been as successful as they might have liked. So some of you might be familiar with the Scholar program. What I'm going to drop a little bit of an alpha on today and not release the whole thing because I think we're still trying to work through and make sure that it's bulletproof, is a program we're calling the Champion Program. So champions are intended to fill a very important need in the ecosystem. Currently, we have what some people call whales, or people that are maybe very well off, heavily invested in the game, owning assets that could be upwards of previously sold $1 million or more. They may or may not have time to effectively utilize these assets. There are others with a lot of time. And without those assets, being able to have that trade-off and provide an ability for those with time but without assets, for those with assets and without time, is where champions come in. So for a champion to come in and be able to play for on behalf of another wallet using their NFTs, for this example, to quest and get potentially compensated for those efforts would be very beautiful in terms of lowering barriers to entry. People all around the world could come into the game as a champion and have access immediately without having a sizable amount of money to buy a hero to fill a service for somebody else that has those heroes that need to be quested. Now, if I have heroes without time, I will benefit by paying somebody else to quest them for me because they get stronger, they get experience, there's drops. It unlocks my jewel, it increases my yield in the garden. The person coming in that wants to play DeFi Kingdoms without enough capital to break those barriers to entry now has a way to start earning. Maybe taking those earnings, putting them in the gardens, and building their own portfolio, taking advantage of their own finances. So a little bit of alpha of how that would work and how that would be different is think about summoning. Right now, you need 2 heroes to summon, but you only have to own 1. Where could the other one come from? Hiring. I will borrow somebody else's hero to summon with my own. We'll think about that for questing. We want to develop a feature, and we're going to roll this out slowly to test it, a feature to allow another wallet to quest on behalf of your account without sending your heroes to their account. So you might have relatives, I don't know, nephews or kids, and you'd be like, I got so many heroes, I don't got time. Hey nephews, can you quest my heroes? I'm going to send them to your account. Yeah, you trust your family, you trust your friends, maybe that's fine, but it's not fine for everybody. We want to make sure assets are secure, but we're able to permission maybe another account to use them, to quest them. So pause there.
So if you send a hero to somebody else's account, they could do anything with it. They could sell it, they could lose it, or whatever. But if you just sort of like allow them to quest them on your behalf, is that a lot more secure?
A lot more secure, yeah. But you don't necessarily have to trust the people. It could even be a complete stranger. So the initial functionality, I think, will be having the ability to permission another wallet to identify a certain amount of heroes to like go fishing for you for let's say 7 days. And that's not going to be affixed to any type of champion program yet. We want to test the functionality. So just like you could send a hero to a friend with a private address, or you can do a private hire, it's going to be kind of like a private questing contract.
So is that kind of like Quest Lite, where it's like, here's the wishing well, we're going to test out some things, and then we're going to build upon it?
Exactly. As you work out the bugs, and as people like it and it works, you can then add a number to that. Let's say I have 6 fishermen, and I really feel like I don't have time to quest these at least once a day. But if I had a contract that had a minimum requirement of saying, all right, champion, if you quest these once a day for a week, I will pay you 25 jewel. 25 jewel could hypothetically go into escrow of assets. Notice how much they're putting up. The criteria here is met, everybody wins, and there's no risk of somebody not getting paid. I won't mention details of other programs. There are other programs out there for other games where this stability and this predictability of earning for the champion does not exist in this way.
Yeah, that's amazing. I remember when we were starting out and Jewel was like $1.50 to $2. and heroes were expensive. They were like 100, 200 jewels for the floor price, and everyone would ask, "Well, like this is way expensive. What, like how is this like sustainable?" And we said, "Well, first of all, there's the market, and the market will be efficient, and hopefully someday we'll see heroes, more in the range of like 40 to 50 jewels." And everyone's like, "Okay, that'd be cool." But then as the price of fuel goes up because the utility is up and the ROI is there and we have such a strong ecosystem, there's also other things where some people, even though you could spend 30 to 50 joules on a hero and earn that back within a few months, some people, they don't even have that amount to get in. So this is awesome that there's a way for just regular, or not per se like regular, but just like players who don't have that same opportunity to sort of climb that ladder, I guess. So that's awesome.
So it is a play to earn game. It's another way to earn. I've talked to a few people who are like, yeah, I've been in since Halloween. I'm like, oh, cool, how's it going? It's like, cool, I just bought my first hero. I'm like, okay, that's a long time. If this existed that entire time, they might have been questioning a lot more than just questioning one hero. So it's not only starting the game. People, if you think about Uber and other scaling mechanisms out there, people have cars and they have jobs. And like, I got an extra hour. I'm gonna go, give people a ride, make some extra money with my car. Can do it this way too. I'm going to go pick up a contract. I got some extra hours in the day. I like questing anyway. I'm going to pick up some extra jewel by doing that. Can I talk about the progression portion of the champ program, or should we hold that?
In a sec. Let me ask you first. So Axes, everyone knows Axes for the most part. Axes is sort of the OG play-to-earn crypto experience. And of course, we are offering a lot of really cool features that I like a lot. I'm not going to say it's better or not, but it is. But Axes, what are they like $700 floor price or something for an Axie? And they have all these players from all over the world, from a lot of traditionally less well-off countries that are playing. And if like you look at our numbers, we are up there with like transactional volume and assets and like activity and all that stuff. Players were still kind of trailing behind. And I think a part of that is because Axis has the scholarship program and we don't yet. So I'm excited to see how that could impact that as well.
Yeah, it'll be very big for volume, average daily users, and just general impact. The ability to earn.
Yeah, so, well, that's a lot louder. Somebody boosted my volume. If the first iteration is sort of having a manager, I guess you could say, or like a champion that you can set for each hero, what is the end goal? Like, where do you see this program eventually ending up?
So I think for those coming in, we really want it to be a progression to a champion. So I think the idea is, if you're new to the game, having somebody without any experience taking on like unlimited amount of contracts is probably a risk to the whole ecosystem, right? They might not fulfill the contract, and people are getting frustrated, and they may not be as bought in. So it's really going to be a progression system where, almost like Yelp, there will be natural reviews. I don't think manual reviews, but potentially stats where if I come in and it's not finalized name, let's just say I come in as a squire, and I can take on like one contract at a time. And as a squire, if I hit greater than 95% completion rate and I do 20 contracts, maybe I'm eligible for something higher than squire. Maybe contender, I don't know, or names pending. As a contender, potentially you could take on, 10 contracts at a time. And eventually you progress to a champion. Now as a champion, you could be a free agent and continue to take on a larger number of contracts. Or some of the guilds out there, and there are some very serious guilds waiting for something like this to come, they could then go and look and say, wow, look at this account. This champion has done, in the last 3 months, 2,000 contracts with a 99% completion rate. I want them in our guild. I want to pay them directly. I think that's the end goal. People could have careers being champions through this potential program.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Having the ability for people to kind of like build up a reputation and establish themselves so that they are trusted is really huge. And there's, like, speaking of guilds, there's also like other kinds of guilds out there, like Yield Guild Gaming, for example, and some others that are just kind of like excited about blockchain games and are like investing in a lot of blockchain games that have land and have NFTs. And I think a lot of them are just kind of waiting for us to have something like that that would allow them to really invest in it. So I'm excited to see where that leads. Any last thoughts about this program?
Nothing new, just more of my personal thoughts. If you can take a moment and think about the parts of the world that could benefit from this, it could be huge. If I were to actually take a moment and talk about it, I'd probably get emotional. We are here to do big things. We claim to be part of blockchain, to change the world, to innovate, to decentralize. This effort, if we can do it right and continue to grow as a game, as a community, and support all this coming in, I mean, there are people in the world that work much harder than all of us in this room, physically, that make significantly less in a week, and a month, and a year. This could be life-changing. This will be life-changing for so many people. So, not to get super serious or sappy, but this is very near and dear to my heart. I know it is to Fox and many others on the team. It's been taking time to want to do it right. We are going to roll out slowly to make sure we do it right, and we need comments, we need feedback, but very, very excited.
That's awesome. Yeah, this is a thing, just to echo that, like, we've already touched the lives of like tens or hundreds of thousands of people. We want that to be up in the millions, and this is one of those steps of making sure that happens. I've heard stories in the Philippines where some people will pay for their bread using their earnings from like Axes or from other play-to-earn games, and it really is very, very life-changing to help to bring a lot of people up in life with opportunities they wouldn't have otherwise had. So I'm super stoked about this, and I just want to say thank you for all the hard work that you've been adding to that Dreamer, and yeah, I just want to say thank you for that Dreamer.
Thank you.
So next up, and to kind of finish us off here, we've got Various. Various is kind of a newer member, relatively speaking, to the team, but he's really made a huge splash, and he's our game director, who's kind of in charge of making sure that the game is fun and challenging and all of the right things. He's got a lot of experience creating games. And he's here to talk about combat, I believe, a little bit. So, take it away.
As Fox said, I'm Marius. So, if there is any problems with combat in the future, I'm the guy. But please don't be mean to me. So yeah, we wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight about combat, where we're at, what we're thinking. So the first thing we wanted to say is that combat is going to be 3v3. So we want you guys to start thinking about team comps now. So
3v3, like each team has 3 people.
Each team is going to have 3 people.
Nice.
Yep. Whether it's PvP or whether it's PvE, fighting other enemies and goblins, whatever they may be. So we want you guys to start thinking about what does your team count going to look like. And I think for a lot of classic RPG fans, you're going to be really excited about that. We want every class to be unique and have a purpose on the team. So, we have knights. You can imagine they're going to be tanks, wizards. They're going to deal magic damage, right? We're definitely, being consistent with a lot of RPG tropes. So, a lot of it's going to be speculation right now, but you guys do have a pretty good idea of, kind of team comps right now and what those might look like in the future. Another thing we want to say is that this is going to be idle combat. So everyone might not be familiar with idle combat. Most people are familiar with turn-based combat. So turn-based combat, you're submitting an action each turn. So you're saying, I want my wizard to fireball this or an enemy. But of course, we're on the blockchain. And on the blockchain, each of those would be transactions. And that would be very cumbersome to do a full combat scenario where you're submitting each action as a transaction. So we're taking that really seriously. And that's why we decided to go with idle combat. So idle combat is basically, you're going to be setting up your team, you're going to be setting up a skill list, which I'll discuss in just a second, and then your teams are just going to be running. So a lot of the fun there is going to be in setting up your skill list, setting up your teams, your team comps, thinking about how they're going to work together, thinking about what your overall strategy is going to be. So the kind of core of this is the skill list. So a lot of people will be familiar with skill rotations, like if you play World of Warcraft, you have a certain list of skills that you're trying to go through. So that's how this is going to work. Each hero, each class is going to have a bunch of unique skills that they can choose from. You're going to choose, let's say 5, that's a tentative number. But let's say 5 skills, and they're going to go through each of those skills, and they're going to perform those as a skill rotation. So that's where the idle side is going to come. You're going to set that up in the beginning, and then you're going to let those run, and you're going to watch that play out.
I have just a quick question about that. So a lot of games that use NFTs that I've seen oftentimes have the NFTs as just sort of a award that you get from like playing the game, but the game itself is a like centralized client that's not on the blockchain. Our game is on the blockchain, and all of the game like logic and all that stuff is on the blockchain. And I think we're the first ones that I know of that are doing it this way on such a scale that we are. So how does the blockchain impact some of those design choices when it comes to combat? You know, like you were mentioning, we can't just do turn-based transactions like that. So having it sort of like preset and say this is the strategy I want to do, and then what is it, just like a loop, or how does that work?
Yes. So, yeah, like I was saying, the blockchain affects a lot of this. So, we can't just be having people submit transactions constantly. It's just going to be cumbersome. It's not going to be a particularly enjoyable experience. So, yeah, you're going to be defining everything up front. So it's kind of more like a meta strategy. If people are familiar with that term, there's in-game strategy where you're kind of planning out each of your moves as the game progresses. Meta strategy is a strategy that happens before the game starts, right? So you're trying to think of what is your team trying to accomplish, right? You're gonna probably want to have a tank. You might want to have a healer. You might want to have a DPS. And how are each of those going to function together? Right? You want to have synergies between them. So if you have 3 heroes and they each have 5 skills each, you want to think about where you want to put those skills, in what order, and exactly what skills you want to use when, to try and make sure that all of your heroes are functioning together and achieving a particular goal for your team comp.
So where do those skills come from? Is it just like the same for all heroes, or how do you determine what those are?
So you're going to unlock skills. People have been seeing as you level up heroes, you're getting skill points. So eventually those are going to be in a skill tree where you can unlock skills with those skill points. So you're going to progress through a skill tree. There's going to be a bunch of different options of skills. You can put points in the ones you want. And then as you unlock those, you will have the availability to put those in the skill list. So if you can only put 5 in the skill list, but let's say you have access to 10. Right, so you're going to have to choose which ones do you want to use. So for different fights, maybe you want to use more magic damage or more physical damage for another fight. So we want to give people a range of options so that this is strategic. So you're making choices for each fight and how you want to encounter that fight.
All right, so a priest might have like a different skill than a warrior. And are there any skills that are like genetic? I think that's the plan, right?
I would not be the person speaking on that right now.
It is. Spoiler.
It is.
But no, yeah. So skills and having the trees, I guess, is per job, and then you basically can just say skill points. I've got like 10 skill points. I'm gonna stick them all into this one skill and have this hero specialize in this skill, and then trying to figure out what setup of your team makes the most sense and having it have the most like synergy so that you can beat the enemy team.
Yep, absolutely. You're trying to think about the skill distribution, right? So you're going to have a lot of points. You're going to have a certain amount of skills. So where do you want to put those points? Where are they going to be most effective? And yeah, the big thing here is the 3v3 combat, right? We want people to be thinking about the team count. It's not about just having one incredibly powerful hero that kind of just runs over everybody. We want to be thinking about, actually having interesting strategies. Kind of the classic RPG strategy is, mage, healer, DPS. But we also want to have a lot of other options besides that. Maybe you don't have a tank, maybe you have 3 DPS, and you can just burn them down. Or, maybe you just have all tanks. We want a wide range of options available. And the way we're trying to design this right now is we don't want to know the best team counts. We want to come up with a large amount of possibilities, and we want players to figure out what is interesting, right? So we want people to explore and kind of strategize and come up with those unique team codes. That's always something that's really fun for me in games that I play. I always really like building meta strategies. So I'm really hoping that we can do that with the heroes and the classes and the various skills.
So can you speak to a little bit about the strategy for like rollout? Is it like launching like little pieces first? Would it be PvP then PvE, or how are you thinking for that?
Yeah, so what we're working on right now is we're working on PvP first, because PvP is going to be the most straightforward. We're trying to define all the hero abilities right now, exactly how they're going to function, how they're going to work together. And once we have that, it's pretty easy to just put heroes against other heroes. PvE is going to be the next step, because that's going to take a lot of additional content, a lot of additional enemy design, and art and quests, and there's a lot of other factors there. So we do plan to have PvP first in the initial rollout, and then we will be moving to PvP or PvE, excuse me, pretty shortly after.
Awesome. How do you envision some of the awards and things would work for combat for like PvP versus PvE, or like is there like questing involved with stories? Is there like dungeon crawls or stuff like that?
So for PvP, right now the current plan is to have that mostly be monetary rewards, so jewel and gold. For PvE, that's where the rewards are going to get a lot more interesting. So, there's going to be a lot of different materials. I don't want to go too deep into what those materials are going to be used for right now, but we have some pretty interesting plans for those. And we do also want to do some dungeons. So the dungeons would effectively be another PvE scenario, but these would obviously be, people are familiar with WoW and raids. These would be more epic battles, right? So there's a special boss at the end, and maybe they'd be accessed every once a week. So we definitely have plans for those. It's all still in the very early planning phases, so I don't want to go into too many details, but we are thinking about all that kind of stuff.
That's really exciting. I think since the very start of the project, combat has been the thing that I've been most stoked for, just because it feels good to beat other people, but also it just adds so much strategy and so much utility to these heroes, trying to figure out that best team. And there's so many things you can do with like guilds and tournaments. You can have like say who is the guild who's in charge, or who's like the dominant guild this week in Sarandale, and then have them all kind of like compete in a tournament. Whoever can have like the best team there could get special things in game. So there's all kinds of cool things you can do with that. So I'm super stoked about that. It is a lot of work, and there's still a lot of work ahead of us. There's a lot that we've already done. So our plan is to try to like roll that out in phases and have sort of like some smaller like demo type things where it's like, here's what we've got, and here's a thing that like you can play around with and start to get feedback on, but everything can change. And just kind of like rolling it out in pieces like that as we build out and perfect that combat engine on like the smart contract on the blockchain. So a lot of really complex things there. It's historically very hard to write a lot of like really complex things into the blockchain because there's a 24 kilobyte limit. So trying to figure out how to architect that is one of the things that Mr. Vaughn and Pinkerton and Magnus, who are here in the crowd with us, will have to figure out. So have fun with that, guys. But I'm super stoked for this, and I just want to say thank you, Darius, and also Hubert as well for all of the work there that has been done so far about this combat engine. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that is it. I think, have we handed out the raffle? Okay, we got a cup. Wow.
You should just throw them all.
Just throw them all out. I don't know if he's being serious or not. So, I'm going to stand up. I think I'm still in the frame. So yeah, we've got a number of prizes. I think I'm going to draw 10 of these. We'll do 1, 10, 0 on Crystal Vale for a lucky winner here. and I'll draw 4 more that will get a really cool package, which we'll announce in a bit. I don't have the specifics of that yet, but it's going to be like some in-game items. I think there's some crystals and some potions and things, and then jewels as well, also with that. And then we'll do another Gen 0, and then 4 more of the same package as well. So 10 winners, and I don't know if I should put this. How are we gonna draw it? Hopefully you guys can hear me. I don't know. I'm just gonna. I am gonna throw it out. Ready? This is called the Fox Scramble. There's one more.
You had a magic one still in the cup here.
There's a lot on the floor there.
I think you just planted that one in the cup.
I did.
It's got my name on it.
2 more. Ooh. Oh, there is one back here. Number 10. Okay. Easy. All right. I think I got 10. See if I'm still in frame. Okay. Yep, I have 10. Okay. So the first one, Kakashi. Woo! Right here? Come on up here, dude. All right. That's number 634058. So.
Is that the Gen 0?
That's the Gen 0. All right, now we've got 4 of the package. Which again, I'm sorry, I don't have details on yet, but it's going to be like, I think like 100 jewel and some other things in the game. So, all right, we've got a smiley face, Peter K. All right, there's that one here. And here's how this will work, by the way. We're going to make a Google form. And you guys are going to have to put in the actual number and say, hey, here's my name, here's my number, and we'll just ask your address there as well. So stay tuned. Okay, number 3, Waya coin or Waya coin.
Right here.
All right. Congrats. Another package. We got 2 more packages. F9T Danley. I hope I said that right. Congrats. Okay, the last package for this tranche. I don't know if that's a word, but I think it's a tranche. Let's see. BrennanCook.eth. Congrats, dude. All right. Okay, now we have the second Gen 0 on Crystal Vale, and it is at Burnpile F. I think I said that right. Burnpile F. Am I reading this? Yeah, it's Burnpile E underscore E. Okay. I would say the number. Is that you? Sweet, dude. All right. So I actually won't say the number because you guys can have to enter this number later. But congrats, you got a Gen 0, and I'm super stoked for you. Okay. Now we've got 4 more packages. We've got at Jadillionaire. All right. Congrats, dude. Okay. We've got Zore #006. All right. Congratulations. Now we've got Daniel, what's this, Chrisman? Daniel Chrisman? Who's this? Not you, not you. He left, but he still wins, so congrats, dude. And then we've got last one for the package. Okay, this is gonna be hard. Cartoraus Next. IG. Is that you? Alright, dude. Congrats. So So those are the lucky winners. We're going to have that Google form, and we will save these so that we can verify. But yeah, I just want to say thanks to everyone for coming. This has been a great day. We've been here all day long, and it's just been a lot of fun. Really happy I got to meet quite a bit of you, and if I haven't yet, if you want to say hi, feel free to come up and say hi to us. And you know, it's been really a blast to have you here, and I'm super stoked to work in this project. It's an amazing community, and events like this are just, you know, this is what really brings it all together for me. And we'll have a lot more of these in the future. So thank you for coming, and I'll see you guys later. Have a nice day.
Bye, folks.